Alright, don't know why I'm doing this game, but I really want to because I like Dead Space back in the past. So we start with Isaac watching the infamous video from his girlfriend Nicole on board the Ishimura. I'll also say that I'm not really sure why they made Nicole look so but it doesn't really matter. Also, Isaac has a voice now, so that's neat. The Kellion crew ends up crash landing onto the Ishimura, and an injured Johnson, one of the pilots, stays behind as Isaac, Kendra, Hammond, and Shen investigate the abandoned ship. When Isaac goes to turn on the power and open a door, necromorphs basically attack the group, killing Shen and forcing them all to separate. Ouch. So while running, Isaac gets the famous plasma cutter and learns from a cryptic warning that the only way to kill the necromorphs is to cut off their limbs. Hammond and Kendra eventually get a hold of Isaac, and after he repairs the tram line, Isaac tries heading back to the Kellion to both repair it and save Johnson. It obviously goes wrong with the necromorph showing up and destroying the ship and blowing up Johnson, so that kind of sucked. So Isaac escapes the necromorphs and continues to essentially repair the Ishimura so that it doesn't implode on them before they can all escape. He starts to learn about the necromorphs and what the Ishimura was even doing, discovering that the planet that the ship had come from, Aegis 7, had been quarantined for centuries. The ship's captain, Matthias, I don't remember, was actually a believer in the Church of Unitology, which is a religious group that worships the marker. They believe that the marker holds the secrets to eternal life, so when the colonists on Aegis 7, or Aegis, yeah, I think it was Aegis 7 again, seemingly found another marker, they sent Matthias, we're gonna say Matthias. They sent Matthias and the Ishimura on a mission to retrieve it under the guise of a standard mining job. Isaac eventually reunites with Hammond after knowing all this, and Hammond ends up sending a necromorph version of Shen out of an airlock into space. That'll come up later. So most of this game is Isaac learning lore and stuff in the background, but I'll just keep it brief. Basically, Isaac learns that the captain had eventually converted many of the Ishimura crew into that religion of Unitology. We also learn that the marker started to cause the crew to be really depressed, paranoid, and eventually having harsh hallucinations. They also got really violent. That's kind of important. We end up learning that after the Ishimura blew a huge crater in the planet to get the marker, the colony down on Aegis 7 were attacked and infected by a horde of necromorphs. As they flooded into the colony, the Ishimura basically refused to help any of them and shut itself to the border, or whatever. This was the captain's decision, which was questioned heavily by the Ishimura's crew. Eventually, in a bid to save the colony, Dr. Terrence Kine, I don't remember the name, it's been a minute, attempted to arrest Matthias. However, Kine accidentally killed the captain while trying to sedate him, which was not good, I think. The necromorphs then made their way to the Ishimura via a shuttle from Aegis 7 that managed to board the ship when someone tried to escape, and that caused the whole, Ishimura's dead now. Isaac eventually ends up in hydroponics, where he meets Dr. Cross, and the two end up killing some weird necromorph called the Leviathan. Isaac also realizes that if he can get the communications back online, he can send an SOS out into space. So he heads there. Along the way, he finds Nicole alive, but she seems really strange. Isaac is kind of dumb though, and he doesn't really realize she's being strange, so instead he continues on his mission. After fixing the comms, he heads to the bridge, managing to get in touch with a ship known as the USM Valor. They say that they're on their way to save them, but also that they've picked up an escape pod, which was the one that the necromorph Shen was in, sadly. So pretty quickly afterwards, the Valor ends up crashing into the Ishimura, and Isaac finds all the crew dead. It's not that funny. Isaac and Hammond go through the Valor and find a singularity core, which they take, but Hammond is killed by Shen while retrieving it, and he sacrifices himself. Isaac then heads back to find a shuttle to escape on, running into Dr. Terrence Kine again. He reveals that down on Aegis 7, the Ishimura's mining efforts basically found a big-ass monster known as the Hive Mind. It appears that the Hive Mind is behind the necromorph outbreak, but if the marker is taken back down to Aegis 7, it can be used to steal the monster away again. So, Isaac agrees to help Kine take the marker down to the planet. Isaac is able to load the marker onto the shuttle and returns to the docking bay to pick up Kine, Kendra, and Nicole, but Kendra ends up killing Kine and escaping with the shuttle, revealing herself to be a double agent for the government. With her bosses wanting to cover up the marker's existence, which is, honestly probably a good thing to do, but also not because I'm pretty sure they want to use it. So we learned that the marker was actually built by humans and is a direct copy of another marker found on Earth hundreds of years before. Back when humanity discovered the marker, they realized that the artifact was worth studying, so they made copies and shipped them off to other planets for experiments, because they don't want to experiment on Earth, I guess. So after learning of all this, Isaac is left to die, but Nicole contacts him, and together, they are able to recall Daniel's ship into the docking bay, forcing her to eject down to the planet's surface in an escape pod. They then board the ship and fly down to Aga 7 together. But as they get the marker into position, it fires a red beam into the sky, and Nicole begins to rant about how Isaac's making them whole again and beginning convergence. So Isaac realizes finally that the marker isn't stealing the hive mind away, but it's actually empowering it or something. So Isaac attempts to remove the tethers around the crater housing the monster. Daniels catches up to the pair and reveals that Isaac has been corrupted by the marker throughout the game, and she plays the footage of Nicole from the beginning, which reveals that Nicole had killed herself whenever the Necromorphs arrived, and it even did so in that video. Isaac basically knew this and repressed the memory by always stopping the message before she did that. The marker used this to make him think that the Dr. Cross, the one he met earlier and teamed up with, was actually Nicole, and made Cross believe that Isaac was her former boyfriend Jacob, which I think was from one of those other spin-off games, or maybe even the second one's DLC, I don't remember. Maybe we'll see in the new remakes. So realizing it's too late to stop the marker, Kendra shoots Cross and then flees the scene, attempting to hijack the shuttle Isaac took to the surface. Isaac chases her back to the ship, but is intercepted by the hive mind, which murders Daniels and traps Isaac. Isaac somehow, I don't know how, Isaac somehow beats the hive mind and flies the shuttle into space. So after sitting in silence for a few seconds, he turns to look in the passenger seat and sees a dead version of Nicole staring back at him, revealing that his corrupt mind is still, corrupt. And we'll see what happens in the next one. Yo, if you liked the video, or honestly even if you didn't, it'd be cool if you liked it. Also, if you want more videos like this in the future, you can subscribe down below. Alright, well I should go.